Hey guys, thank you for joining us. I have some very, very special guests, Mark and Cher from Prairie Boy 77 and Voices Behind the Wall. Um,
I gotta,
Hold
I gotta
on.
step away for a second.
Oh, she got poop.
How's there already that many people in there, dude? That's not, is there something ain't right? Anyways, guys. Okay. Um, so, as you guys all know, this is just a recap and kind of a follow up to the expose that we did last night. Um, just to kind of give everyone a rundown, you know, I think that everyone involved in last night's piece kind of woke up to some different kind of stuff going on, and I want to preface it by saying that Mr. Ernie, I feel like we gave him a really fair shake. I feel like that he had the forum last night to address any issues that he may have had with a particular situation regarding him coming down and interviewing Don. I felt like Ernie kind of had a he kind of had a rough interview. I gave him the old "what's for" because I wanted to really just kind of help validate him to him. So let me just start out by showing you anyone who missed last night. Um, he came on the live and everything was going pretty smooth for about 2 minutes. And then there was this, oh man, like a playwright, almost like a staging that was a multiplayer narcissistic play that was just kind of boiled in the cockpit, if you will, of this vehicle. I got to keep it down, guys. So let's go ahead and I want to just show you what we're dealing with here. What kind of reptile we might have in captivity. So, guys, this was just in the very first couple of moments having Mr. Ernie on. And I'll tell you, like I've never been so taken back by something. I don't know. I kind of felt like it was one of those things that happens on live that kind of naturally, organically happens, like cameras capture everything. And then all of a sudden, like I got like, 2.5 inches into this fucking deal. And I realized like this guy, he just smells like fraud right through, check this shit out, man. Thanks again, Ernie, for coming. Yeah, no, it's Predator. It's Predator Nation. It's Predator Nation. Because let me tell you what, guys, I woke up and realized that this guy, he held in, he stomached, he had the forum last night to address Cher, and he didn't, right? He kind of I don't know, he kind of handled it like a little guy does, and I just was like, whoa, today, like, what's all this? Like, you had your opportunity to kind of hash it out with Cher last night if you had an issue. Like, and again, it wasn't a setup, right? Like, it was just a whole bunch of adults. So here we go. Yeah, and this guy, he's telling me I'm good on my own show. Like, fuck you, me. Am I good? Well, I'm the best.
All right, I'm ready. He says he's taking legal action against me.
There's no sound, Benny.
Oh, there's no sound. Hold on. I'm going to have this issue. Hold on.
Oh, he just made me mad again.
Okay, tell me if you hear the sound now, Mr. Mark.
Been doing it tonight. I know what you've been doing, but tell them what you've been doing tonight.
Okay.
Have a special guest tonight. We have
Special.
Mr. Ernie from Predator Patrol Nation, and it's a damn fine thing. Welcome.
Hey, thank you guys, and it's Predator Hunter Nation.
Oh, it's Predator Nation.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Predator Hunter Nation.
You're good.
Now, later on in the expose, I asked him the kind of jargon, because I've done this too. I've caught 33 men. I caught one man twice. And I know exactly how much time I've handed out via prosecutors and all that, right? So I asked him the jargon, like, okay, so you're a predator hunter. How many have you caught? He wouldn't say. Then, well, he did say 5 or 6 in up north, right? And so there's a big issue going around in regards to this gentleman in trapping people and using actual stalking techniques. What could be what he could be charged for stalking? He's doing that with these men. So moving on.
I'm sorry. You're good.
Again, I'm good.
Tell me, Ernie, what exactly? Tell me what you've been doing tonight. I know what you've been doing, but tell them what you've been doing tonight.
You see that? I think I might know what he was doing.
Well, tonight I'm actually doing a training course.
But I thought he said all day that he wasn't with his team. Isn't that what he said, Cher?
Self-training, maybe.
Yeah, he said he wasn't a part of his team.
Yeah, but so who was he training in the middle of the night?
Or she.
Or she, yeah. It's coming, guys. Hold on.
I do a lot of different things, actually. I'm doing
Hell yes, he does.
defensive tactics training course right now. I do a lot of weapons defense training.
So I wonder, to do those things, do you have to have certifications, or do you just need idiots that will sign up and pay? I don't know.
And are you allowed to threaten people with violence and still train with weapons?
Well, that's part of the tactic, right? You'll hear him later on say he goes everywhere with a gun, right? Like I think with as much shit as he's got going on in the streets and the country combined, he has a good reason to carry a gun or few.
Like I was telling you earlier, that a lot of people don't understand what we stand for and who we are, and whether or not we're legit or not. People don't know that.
Why don't they know? Because it seems initially when you start an organization, it just starts off as legitimate, right? You've got to do something in order to make it illegitimate. So I think that's kind of speaking for itself. Hooah.
I'm the operations director for the Special Forces of Liberty Anti-Human Trafficking and Child Exploitation Prevention Act.
God damn, can you imagine how long that acronym is? Holy shit, it's the alphabet. Every letter is represented in that acronym.
Also being the director of Operation Rock, which is Rescue Our Children. I work contracts with the former president administration.
That's not saying a whole lot, Ernest. Hey, Mr. Sherrod, can you do the Burt one time? Hey, Burt. Back to the business.
With Trump administration for
again, that's not really something like you don't put that on your dossier that you did any fucking thing for Donald Trump. That's not something to brag about, my boy.
Combat human trafficking for the actual executive order. And you can check all that out as we actually do legislation for all 50 states. We help make the laws for human trafficking. And that's www.humantraffickingpreventionact.com.
That is just his own website, guys. That is not in the federal government.
Nice. So I see that you're well versed in.
What I will say is that this was a masterful display of gaslighting. I mean, I put the key in his back so early yesterday that it was phenomenal to watch him robot around and do what he's done now, right? It's all went exactly to plan. Like, he was very quiet, and we're gonna get to why, or I'm going to get to why, because I'm not going to make Mark and Cher commit to taking, and subscribing to my way of thinking about this gentleman, but I'm going to get into why he even was a thing yesterday, right?
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, I mean, the martial arts I've done professional boxing, and I just kind of like want to do a mixture of it. And
that's called UFC.
And put it out there.
I'm like Cobra Kai. I said Cobra Kai. Help.
Boy, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere, boy. All right. Okay.
I know enough to survive. I'll just say that. You know, and that's it.
Okay. Guys, this is trigger warning. If you have a gag reflex that is too far forward next to that hangy thing in the back of your throat, you're going to want to mute this and probably even just look away altogether, like flip your thing down or like just throw the whole damn phone, whatever you got to do. But like trigger warning here.
Are you that brother Hunter guy? Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, yes, ma'am, I'm doing it.
Yeah, he's doing it. All right.
No, that's awesome what you do for our kids. As a mother myself.
How does he come to my show and tell me to hold on while he gets me? Who does this man think he is? I mean, come on, bro.
I worry so much about the children. So I'm so thankful for what you do.
Oh, I appreciate that. And like I said,
had he said anything to this lady before? Like, why does he start out?
I actually caught him in a slip because. Okay, wait. Keep playing it.
Before, we always do.
He just said it. He said, like I said before.
Yeah, before when I told you to come up here while I was talking.
Half an hour ago.
And I just want to know what the hell is going on with them hands, man. Like I talk with my hands too, but he's like, I mean, he's like fucking like 2-inch punch with them shits, man. Hold on.
You know, we do it for the people. We do it for you, the people.
Now,
for the people, for you, the people, for we, the people, you, the people, I, the people.
That's just it. Now, I don't know how much of what this gentleman does is for anything other than himself. Now,
I don't know.
Well,
he did tell me he doesn't want fame and he just wants a regular life where he's not known.
Well, did you know that all the donations coming to his channel right now are going towards the production of his new TV show?
The TV show coming out this fall, you mean?
Yes, that one.
Oh.
They're doing a Sesame Street remake?
A Sesame Street, yeah. Bert and Ernie reunite.
Bert and Ernie sing the hits.
But with bullets.
Don't say that.
All right, so.
People, and most of all, it's we the people will protect the children at all costs. I appreciate.
I'm convinced that the link between his mouth and his brain right now is completely disconnected. Like he is just spewing propaganda right now, guys. Like this is, oh man, like this is just the most unsettling thing that happened to me this week so far.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and I don't want to take up your time, so it was a good meeting.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Ernie.
Okay. Sorry.
You are a celebrity, sir.
He's sorry about that. I bet he is. Well,
in all fairness, that lady did spot him in a dark, empty parking lot at night in his truck.
Facts.
So he should have given her that few minutes. I'm
going to show you a couple of other things here.
Autograph.
That on his boots, on her boots. So there is there's this other thing that's a thing. So let's go here. This is the good friend Ernie. Let's move this right over here. Boom. No, that's not going to work. This is printer. This is Shannon. I'm sorry, Shannon. Shannon actually was able to what the hell was that last name? Shannon. Now Shannon Shannon is a hell of a content creator. If nobody has watched Shannon, Shannon is the real deal. Straight out of the South. But let me where's it at here? Oh, I just had it. Let me see. Predator Nation. Summer Wells search. In the meanwhile, in between times, let me show you. Here it is right here. All right. So Shannon Bennett. Shannon Bennett. All right. So Shannon actually has the video of the search at the racetrack. Now, I want to, before I show you that, I want to show you this one, which just has.
Hi, Ernie.
Is Ernie in here?
Well, I'm sure he's watching.
He
Ernie.
said they're all watching. They were waiting
okay.
for the show.
Ah, okay. So there's this thing right here, right? So it starts out, predator hunter people riled up the volunteer speedway people. Okay. It says, folks looking for Summer Moon Wells, this place needs to be watched 24/7. There is something going on there that is very suspicious, and it may involve more victims than one. These are just a few photos of things in strange places that don't make any sense. Especially watch for what vehicles are going in at night. Take photos of them. He's inciting people to stalk folks. It's become very clear it's up to the people to do a thorough job of neighborhood watches. We do not encourage trespassing. However, there are plenty of places to just park and observe the ins and outs, photos, videos, license plates of any suspicious activity. Now, this was the retort from the Volunteer Speedway. It said, we appreciate your efforts in trying to locate this little girl. But with that said, our whole facility is under 24/7 video surveillance, and our friends with enforcement can have access to it at any time. So what they're saying is we have tons of video, and we're offering it up. You don't have to subpoena it. We're going to give it to you, right? No, but not you, Ernie, but the police, the real police. So your post is basically accusing our facility. I say I may own it, but Volunteer Speedway is one huge family that consists of thousands of fans and community, and is family oriented as any place in Northeast Tennessee. The fact that you are posting pics of things that are used every race night shows your ignorance. Load up and bring your CSI wannabe night and watch about 1,000 people on the pit side alone. Oh, sorry. The pit side alone. Where'd I go here? You see, there's going to be 1,000 people on the pit side alone, which will include dozens of kids roaming these 70 acres. Gates open at 5. I do suggest you not let anyone who know you are personally, though. This is ignorant. Post isn't removed in the next little bit. I'll post it back on our racetrack page, and there will be about 40,000 of our loyal fans blowing you up. By the way, my name is Landon. So that's kind of the environment. Now that's what happened around the search, kind of pre and post, as far as statements are concerned. Now, I don't want to stray you from anything, but I want to further paint a picture of this gentleman in your minds just momentarily, right? So what we have right here is and I find that this is kind of it's kind of rich, because this guy right now is sending me pictures like this. Now, when you zoom it in, it says Tennessee National Guard, right? So right here, this man who's in the Tennessee National State Guard, rather, which is, I guess, like an ROTC. But look what he did. He brought out big names, Dallas Diamond Page, so on and so forth, right? Listen to this. Shell had contacted the Mercer County Sheriff's Department and off-duty personnel. If he owns a fugitive recovery tough guy team, like, why is he hiring police? That doesn't even make any sense, right? Now look here. Diamond Dallas Page, he's a legend of the WWF. Come on now. So tickets for, this is the deal. I think the ones who suffered the most were the people who came out in the weather Saturday night and didn't get to see the event they paid to see, Rose said. The tickets were $20 and $25 for VIP tickets. that were supposed to register the buyer for a 55-inch TV. I mean, just to sweeten it up. But none of that happened. It was bad weather, really bad weather. Only about 150 people made it to the armory since the weather was bad. He should have canceled the event. Rose said that he and other deputies arrived around 6 p.m. and at about 11 p.m., Shell's booking agent told the officers that they should keep a close watch on Shell. He said that Shell didn't have any money and thought that he might try to skip out, Rose said. These are off-duty police officers. About 5 minutes later, the armory manager came and told us, you guys might want to get up here. This guy's about to get his butt kicked. Rose said that several of the wrestlers had cornered the 5'8" 140-pound Shell and said, can you pay us the rest of these here? When he said he couldn't, I said, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. Saved his life is what happened. Thank you to that officer. He said this was the 174th wrestling promotion, Rose said. Some of these wrestlers didn't have the money to drive back home. Just like us, they were planning to get paid. He was lucky he hired us. Otherwise, he would have, just like Big Keys said, had to have dealt with all of those wrestlers. So, now, brings us, do you have anything to add to any of this?
No, I don't.
Okay. Lovely.
He's still texting me.
Why?
I spat in his face. He offered me a plan. I spat in his face. Ernie, you told me to make an apology video. You demanded.
No. He said, you will make a public apology. That's what he said to you.
You told me you will make a public apology, and you gave me a list of names to your organization, right? I mean, I'm keeping all the text, screenshotting in case you dirty delete.
He is deleting it too.
You guys, he's done nothing but threaten me, and even with violence all day. So this man is not what he pretends to be. And
no, he is not.
He has told me that if I do not make a public apology, and he just actually sent me a screenshot that he has 162,000 followers on, I don't even know what this is, to be honest.
TikTok, but it's been deleted. Like he uses that. That's like,
so he told me he will cyberbullying me and trash me to all of his followers if I do not make a public apology for stealing a Don Wells interview from him.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So
well, I mean, that's why he's mad, because I told Don not to interview him.
Well,
and no, we are interviewing with Don Wells still. There's just a lot of things going on in the background, so
yeah,
so
we might be recording later.
This is where we'll make the segue in to why I asked this gentleman yesterday, right? So what we know about suspects, guys, and this is in all seriousness, what we know about suspects when we're trying to, as sleuths, we're trying to build a profile, right? We know it takes certain behavioral characteristics in order to pull off something like this. Hooah. I mean, I think we all can understand that the people that will pull off certain sorts of things when you poll them collectively, a lot of these gentlemen or offenders rather will have a lot of the same signatures. So when people pop up and it just doesn't really seem, I said before, I call them woodwork characters, right? So when someone comes out of the woodwork and they unlock themselves as a character in this, they're definitely worth taking a look at. And so when we start to build the pieces of a profile, we know that someone that could be involved in a situation like Summer's disappearance might be extremely narcissistic, might have an extreme issue with impulsive decision making, which impulsive decision making would also look like making crazy posts recklessly and then taking them down. That's what that ends up looking like. You also play into this individual has what they call, let me pull this up. It's called hero syndrome, guys. Mm-hmm. So hero syndrome. Hero syndrome was noted by author Laura Berman Fortgang describe the hero syndrome as a phenomenon affecting people who seek heroism or recognition, usually by creating a desperate situation which they can resolve and subsequently receive the accolades from. This can include unlawful acts such as arson and attempted murder. Okay. Now, when you have someone that starts to display certain characteristics, you have to ask yourself, why all of a sudden is this person in our faces, right? Why? So that right here, it shows you, right? So hero syndrome are someone that could potentially, and we're not saying anyone's a suspect here. Let me just state that right now. But what we're saying is someone that we can identify that has a hero syndrome issue could be capable of abducting a child and holding them somewhere so as to later find them and bring them in. Now, it doesn't say anything about collecting $325,000 reward in any of this text. So the actual syndrome isn't about the money. It's about the heroism and the recognition. Now, there also is other behavioral dynamics that come into play with this gentleman, I've been told. Unfortunately, there is, let's pull this up.
Short note, why are Ernie and Cher texting each other? I literally tried, I can show the screenshots. I tried to have him call truce with us all. I even said, I don't want you to leave the Wells case. I think everybody should put their heads together. I said that to him, but he now spit in his face.
Yeah, but now you're looking at the situation differently because this gentleman is now making physical threats to people in the community who are actually trying to help. Now, let me say this.
Oh, really quick, while I remember, sorry, Benny.
Yeah.
Mountain Girl, I know we don't really have the same beliefs. You've done trashy videos on me, but I want to say you shouldn't be scared, girl. So if you see this or anyone knows her, please tell her to reach out to me because I will seriously have her back. And it's not right. I don't give a shit about what she said about me before, but it's not right. Don't be afraid.
No, don't. Now, when it goes offline and it becomes too much, I had a banter with Mountain Girl, and I tried to create a banter with Juanita, and all that was to try to show them about justice preservation, right? When you are chipping away at the very thing that makes America America, you have a problem with me, right? I don't have a problem with you people in real life. Now, when it goes to that, and now we've got Juanita and we've got Mountain Girl who have expressed in different places online that they are, in fact, afraid for their life.
Afraid, yeah.
Now, it doesn't matter whatever Ernie thinks the standard for someone being scared is. All it takes for is an individual to reach their threshold and say, I am afraid for my life.
No, G-Dog, it doesn't matter if you trust Mountain Girl or not, but judging by the conversations I've had with this man all day, he actually threatened. Here, I'll read you the text messages. So I believe.
And on top of that, let me also preface this by saying that he also is going around the internet saying that I threatened to shoot a hole in his head, but won't show anybody where I said that to him. So go ahead and get your shit off.
Where did it go? We said so much. Oh, you or Benny are not going to threaten me, which we didn't threaten him. I did tell him take that shit down. He demanded I make an apology video, and I said I would. And I'd work out something, but he just, I know this type of man so well, he just won't do it because he has to be the bigger person. He has to be big macho man, okay? So
well, that's the thing. He has to be that with a woman, right? Like
right,
he didn't do that with Mr. Mark. He didn't do that with me. Just with Miss Cher. He didn't even know
half of what was going on until he came home for lunch this afternoon.
Yeah, I was at work. I don't know.
Okay, so this is from Ernie, and this is just one of the threats. You or Benny are not going to threaten me, and I think I just sit back and watch. I am all about the violence. As a matter of fact, it's my family tradition. I came in peace, but nope, you didn't want that. So is that a threat, you guys? Is that a threat of violence? How would you all take that? Because he says it's not a threat and that was legal to send me.
and you know, let's expound on that, Mark and Cher. And how I'm going to expound on that is he keeps. This is the second time now that I've heard about there being killers in his family, but he keeps disassociating himself, like all my family's killers except me, right? So we did hear last night that Ernie has a brother who he said was a serial killer, but only talked about one case with the mayor. Now, Ernie has some criminal dispositions in his record that, well, here, just let me show you.
Right.
Shit.
His brother is in prison for murder. So just, yeah, I do take that as a threat.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. And he also said he has unlawful ways. He said this to me. He said it to Benny and Cam, I believe. He said there's unlawful ways that he will get a hold of my past, of anything I've said or done or whatever in chats and stuff on the internet, and he will release it all to sick his 200,000 people after me.
So you can see right there.
I mean, with violence and cyber harassment.
Ernest M. Shell, and it says disposition not provided by source. Offense not provided by source. 2 case numbers, both in Kentucky. And let's see here. Hold on. Yeah, 2 different case numbers. Now, to me, that starts looking like informant jargon, right? When you have offenses that aren't posted by source, and then they've been deposed, and that's not available as well. That's the stuff that starts looking like informant stuff. So, you know, we also have Mr. Ernie talking about last night how he goes everywhere with a gun. So, hey, don't threaten me no more. I'm scared for my life, sir. Are you scared for your life?
I ain't scared. I don't know what the hell this.
So that's kind of where we're at, guys. You know, I do want to let you take a little bit more look at this here search, because this is really, really rich, guys. Now, him as an aspiring law enforcement official.
You posited a perfect spot though.
Yes, that's his kissy face.
That's a Snapchat right there.
That's a Snapchat. Hey, Tinder, slide to the right. Now, anyone that has all these fucking certifications.
Oh, I have a message from Allie and Cam.
Yeah.
Ernie and your crew, please stop making false accusations about our good friends, Allie and Cam, because you were saying that they both attacked you last night, and that's false. And I have to vouch for that. I've never seen these people attack.
This guy is just the biggest tough guy, right? Like
they will not take kindly if you keep lying like that and defamation like that. So
well, regardless of where anyone lands on all of this, Cam and Allie have nothing to do with.
They've never had nothing to do with that man, nor would they ever have anything.
Which is why they're sitting tonight out and editing videos. So
small. We know that this individual. We have pictures of him, and he is a man amongst men. Not in the health department though. So I could see very early on that he suffered from the little man complex. So when you add little man syndrome with hero syndrome, what you get is a predator-hunter nation. Small man syndrome refers to a condition where a man feels inadequate, short height, and may try to overcompensate it with overly aggressive behavior. The syndrome is often referred to as Napoleon complex in reference to the famous military leader. Do you have anything to add to that? Oh, what do we have here? Sorry, guys. Jane Doe 2 is in the house. Welcome, Jane Doe. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Benny?
Hey, Jane.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We're just getting fired up.
I'm here. And I hear that.
You actually made it right on time, lovely. So
nice.
you have tell us about yourself in regards to tonight. What are you doing here tonight?
Okay, so first, I just want to say, first and foremost, this is about Summer Wells, the 5-year-old blonde girl missing out of Rogersville, Tennessee. This is about her.
Facts.
She's still missing. Yep. So this is about her. This isn't about who has the worst pass, who's this, who's that. These are facts and information that kind of exposes what Ernie Shell is trying to do. So one, if we just start out from the aspect of him saying that he has been a private investigator, according to him, out of several different states. In order to do that, you need to be a police officer. Ernie Shell's never been a police officer.
Facts.
Yeah, he's lived in several states. You touched on a few things, Benny, and there's a lot of things that I want to talk about. So we're not just talking about rumors here, okay? I got a lot of stuff, and I have a feeling this is going to be not just one video. So,
By the way, really quick, sorry to interrupt, but Benny, my friend is still in a lobby. She's listening, laughing, and she'll be here when she can.
Thank you. So we will have 2 Ernie Mac Shell experts in the house tonight. Here we go. You have the floor, Jane Doe number 2.
absolutely. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, one of the things that I want to just touch on is that we're talking about an organization who says that they are fit to track predators and protect our children. Yet these people are openly exposing people that call them out. They're accusing them of being cannibalistic. We'll get to that after.
How can
And
you search for
accusing them of
children when
being
you act like one?
Yes, thank you. And they have I lost my train of thought. You know, so you have to look at this, people that are saying that they're so excited that here comes this organization, they're going to rescue our children, they're going to protect us, they're going to protect women. But yet you were spot on what you said, Benny, and I noticed that exactly on the video. I had a hard time watching that the other day, and when the way he spoke to Cher, you are spot on. That's because Cher's a woman. He won't talk to you like that. He won't talk to Mr. Cher like that.
He won't even answer the phone when I call him.
Oh, he just blocked me.
Absolutely.
By the way, Ernie,
not.
since I know you're listening and you wanted to block me now.
Hey, Ernie, I guess this is probably hitting different than you thought it would.
Well, he just said, you post your apology right now, and I will not continue with the next phase against you. Benny lost his marbles.
Everybody stop for a second. Ernie, be very careful.
With your next decision, sir. Be
That's all
very
I'm saying.
careful with your next decision, because your next decision may impact how many decisions you get to make in the free world after that.
Mhm.
So, carrying on,
I
Jane Doe
promise
number
I'll
2.
ruin that TV show for you, Ernie. I'm down for the legal fight you just threatened me with. I'm down, and you'll be paying for it, as well as my awesome attorneys that I have.
Awesome
friends in every
attorneys.
state.
Awesome attorneys. Go ahead,
So-
Jane Doe number 2. You got the floor. Spill the beans.
Thank you. And I'm a loudmouth like you, Benny. I get fired up. Everybody thinks I'm arguing sometimes when I'm like, no, I'm fired up. So let's just look at it from the aspect of, here is this man, like I said, he says he's going to protect our children. But he's had so many years of investigative experience, right?
19 years. 19 of them.
Probably more than that, right? So
I don't know.
according to him, he has all of these certificates, he has all of this experience. Then why the hell were him and Tina at the volunteer speedway? And they have pictures on their site. This is what people don't understand. This isn't about bashing them. This is about finding facts that this does not make sense. I have a background in this. I'm not claiming to be any expert. I'm not claiming to work with anybody, although I've talked to a lot of the key players in this. And I have a lot of information. I've done a lot of investigating on this. And what I'm telling you is facts. And we are going to expose these people for who they are. What's that, Benny?
He doxed me online, put my phone number online. I guess that's the way cops act. That's the way military.
But this is a man that's protecting the people. He's working for you. He's protecting the people. He puts pictures of children up there.
He couldn't protect a warm cup of piss.
Let's just start with this, and I'll just go brief because I want to get into the dark details of Ernie Michelle. So here we go. First, though, I want to get back on their little investigation. They said some of the best pictures they had, they put online. These things are in odd places. You're going to tell me a child's race car toy is in an odd place at a speedway? You don't think a kid's going to have a car there? None of that stuff had anything to do with Summer Wells well after she was missing. It was an embarrassing display from somebody who claims to have so much experience. I actually happen to know where Ernie Shell works, but I'm not going to put it on here publicly.
So do I.
I will say that he's an unarmed security officer.
Absolutely, he is.
He's an unarmed security officer because he is not allowed to possess firearms.
Facts.
Let's just look at that.
So we have lots of video of Ernie with what looks like it's a military green sidearm, a pistol, not a taser, not an airsoft gun. I mean, we have him saying actually that he is
weapons training. Can I just
where he goes? Go ahead, Jane Doe.
I'm so sorry, Benny. I just saw somebody come up, and I can see some of the chats, and somebody said they're done watching this Jerry Springer show. It's not a Jerry Springer show. It's about a man with evil intentions that's asking for your money and saying he's going to look for a little girl. He knows damn well she isn't where he says he is. Then Tina Simmerly, and I can read you I've got screenshots of a lot of things. I didn't catch everything that they had, but I got a lot of it. And she's saying, to the Summer Wells parasites, I didn't realize that everybody was so bleep crazy about Summer Wells' disappearance. Are you kidding me? Yeah, we are. This
Tribute
is
to
a
Perry
5-year-old little girl that's missing. You better believe we're batshit crazy, and we're going to help find her, and we're going to take down Predator Nation. And he has sat there himself and said that he is a predator. Benny, I told you earlier, we talked for just a very few minutes. So you don't even know what I'm going to say, Benny. You have very little of what I'm going to say.
I have no idea.
So in this fits together. But let's just go back to the article that you pulled up. Not only did he rip people off, so he has a history of being a dishonest man. He said everybody in his house, everybody in his family, they're all killers. His brother's a serial killer, according to him. But he says, I'm the good guy. Let's talk about it. I'm the good guy. So he's a very he's a troubled man. He's got a very troubled past. So he is from Kentucky originally. He does have ties to Tennessee, although he says he doesn't. He has several charges from several different states, including one out of, hold on. So when you get on there and you say, we're going to look for this little girl, and then you sit there and make fun of people that are really trying to look for her, that's disgusting.
Hey,
that's absolutely
let's
disgusting.
talk about this. The abductor usually is compulsive and frequently relies on manipulation, lying, and deception to gain access. The abductor usually states she has lost a baby or incapable of having a child. Usually the companion has a desire to have, you get it. So this is the things that we're looking at is these are some of those characteristics that you're looking for in an abductor profile. It's just what it is. I'm not making it up.
No, these are facts. These are things that he's expressing himself. This is a troubled man that's come from a troubled family. This is a man who sat on the witness stand and indicated his brother for murder.
Was he involved in that case in some sort of way? Do you think that those two cases that have a sealed disposition might be something to do with his brother's case?
I'll talk to you a little bit more on that. I'm not going to say right now
Facts.
on that. But
Facts.
I got, yeah. So, but I am going to say that he sat on that witness stand and, you know, in my opinion, he indicated himself the other day in your interview when he said they were looking at somebody else. Well, who were they looking at, Ernie? Shell? Was it you? Because, and don't get me wrong, Shelby Shell is a very disturbed man. He has domestic violence charges. He has 22 incident reports from being, and I have the information to back this up. Anybody wants to see it, get a hold of Benny, you know, and I'll provide this information to you. I'm not pulling this out of nowhere. These are facts. These are absolute facts. So he indicated his own brother on the witness stand. His uncle said, "Do you know Ernie Shell to be an honest person?" And he said, no, he's not an honest man. And then another woman got on the stand and said how Ernie had put a pillowcase over her head and held a gun to her. Then they had a recording that, and we don't hear the recording. That part's cut off. I don't know if there's another video that has that. I would like to hear it. There's a recording supposedly of Shelby Shell confessing to his brother to the murder. But that's not what Ernie told us yesterday.
Right. Facts.
So
let's talk about it.
Yep. And also, he calls himself the killer inside, Ernie Shell, the killer inside. And he has a picture on Facebook of his face in the courtroom and did a screenshot of it saying the killer inside right across it. We don't have to tell you who he is. You watch this and you listen.
He'll tell you himself.
Who he is. He tells you who he is. And this is not a good man. This isn't about money. This isn't about anything. This is about Summer. And this is about this man not caring to protect children. He's got Cracker Jack box certificates. Those aren't real. Look it up. And
hey, Cher.
You can
Cher.
Yeah.
You got kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's too. So when you dox me online, you show how much you care about children, because you got a bunch of fucked up killers in your family.
And that's the thing. I don't know if he knows, but he works so close with law enforcement and all. He should know that it's a big no-no to put people's names, addresses, and phone numbers.
Man.
I don't know if it's like an American term to say doxing, but it's doxing, and it's a big no-no in almost everywhere in the States and in Canada and in multiple other countries too, and you should know this.
Yeah, so I just wanted to mention something that
why did he leave from around?
Can I say something?
Why did he leave from around that?
Oh, we'll talk about that. But can I say something first before I forget? So this man is the man that's going to protect our children. Tina Simmerly is going to protect our children, and at all costs, he's going to protect our children, right? Him and Tina Simmerly. Go to Tina's Facebook and look at DHS reports that she's personally posted on there. All of her children's names are on there. Her address is on there. Information that should be private to protect her children, that's on the internet. That's on the internet. Like, do you want your kids to you want that? You want their names, their ages? You know what's
cute? You know what's cute?
Listen, I asked him that. Sorry, someone asked, does Ernie work for, CM? I specifically said that to him because he does the whole the Hawaiian aloha thingy, Annie said something that stood out to me, and multiple of you guys texted me and said, "Oh my God, he keeps saying straight up."
No way.
He said,
Yeah, and I'm like,
I have
no
control. I have no control over what Tina posts. Share. I'm sorry, but then he shares what posts. What are you talking about, buddy? You're
there
a
is
walking
no way that Chris McDonough, and I stopped watching a lot of his videos. I think he did a good thing in the beginning. I think that we all can agree with that he did a good thing in the beginning. But here's the thing. There is no way that Chris McDonough, whether we like him or not, whether we agree with what he's doing or not, there is no way that Chris McDonough would be working with that vigilante wannabe. I mean, listen to him. He's telling you he's the predator.
Oh, they gave Don $100 to do an interview. Oh, that's why he said it costed him money.
Big money.
Yeah, hilarious. I'm glad, and I hope he kept that $100 too. I hope he had
that so much. So I want to mention one thing too. Back to the post that you brought up, Benny. So he rips people off. He's got a history of it. A history. Look online.
This is habitual behavior.
People from years ago, they're not bringing it up now because of everything that's going on. No, from years ago, including him having a tight connection with somebody that was distributing. I have that information. If anybody wants it, get a hold of Benny.
Say that again.
He had contact in, this was 3 years ago, that people were calling him out for before he became this predator hunter, that he was in tight with somebody that was distributing child pornography. That was his friend. That's not somebody he was caught up in with. This is his friend. So again, I've got this information. If anybody wants it, get a hold of Benny. There's some things that I'm not going to release. I'm not going to do anything that is going to hinder the investigation of this little girl or do anything that could hurt anybody else. But I'm telling you that these are facts. And now when he was promoting, he says he's a boxer, right? But he's a promoter. So he planned this.
He probably boxes with women.
All these wrestlers to come out. And he happened to hire security and law enforcement, like you said, Benny. But the funny thing is that when they found out that Ernie Shell wasn't going to pay them, they pinned him up against the wall and they were ready to pound the hell out of this little. He is a very short man. He's little guy.
Very small. He's very small.
Benny, my friend's about to come up. She'll have no picture, no name.
Okay,
but I just want to mention that he was arrested by the very guys he hired to be there for him.
The off-duty beast, yeah. So we got Jane Doe number 1 about to be off in this piece. Jane Doe number 1 is just as fluent in her mastery as Jane Doe number 2.
Oh, I've got more. I'll shut up, but I've got more. You know I do.
Keep going.
Yep.
Hold on.
I'm feeling good tonight, guys.
So this needs to be. There's 2 very important things. I'm giving you facts. You can take it where you want it, each and every one of you. On 6/26/2019 at 11:38 p.m. on Hamilton Street, there was a call that came into the police department of a suspicious person in arrest. Patrols responded to the area of Hamilton Street and Van Wyck Street for a report of a male walking back and forth on his cell phone. Patrol units located 39-year-old Ernest Shell of Corbin, Kentucky. After investigating, Mr. Shell was arrested for criminal possession of a weapon in the 4th degree and possession of a hypodermic instrument. Mr. Shell was released on his own recognizance.
What was he going to do with that What was he going to do? What was the first thing he was caught with before the hypodermic needle?
He had a possession of. Let me go back to it. Hold on. Again,
pill?
guys, this is facts. Criminal was arrested for criminal possession of a weapon in the 4th degree.
So he had a weapon and he had a hypodermic needle.
Yes, he did. Those are facts. That's not speculation. Facts.
So is there any talk about this guy in substance abuse? Like, does he have a substance abuse issue, or do you think maybe he was gonna try to get some sort of sedative or barbiturate to put in that syringe to help someone? I wonder.
I'm not gonna speculate on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Me
who
either.
are we to speculate on that?
Me either.
Or speak on that publicly right now, but I have a
Oh.
lot more information. So not speculate, but I'm not gonna.
Are you aware of this clandestine mission that he had to break into a sex offender compound, a sex trafficking compound, in order to save a woman and her 3-year-old child? And the woman had a chip in her leg, and the people that were trying to sell the woman crashed his car all the way from Tennessee to Louisiana?
No.
You don't know about that?
Nope, absolutely not. I heard him say that, and
Does that sound like something you could believe?
No, it doesn't sound
Okay.
believable at all in my
Okay.
experience.
I think
in my
you already
background.
weren't believing it.
Mr. Mark, were you believing that already?
No.
No, he was like, "What? No." He looked spaced out listening.
I did find it pretty interesting and mostly disturbing that he did say that he posed as a
pizza man.
So if he's rescuing this girl in the car, who's he posing for? He's got her and the little girl in the car.
He likes to sound very sophisticated. He talks all this anti-trafficking jargon, but let me tell you what: the people that traffic kids, they do shit like the people that know how to go rescue traffic people also know how to traffic people, right? So
yeah,
I mean, you have to know where the portal in is at, right? I don't know where to go find child pornography. I don't know where to go find some trafficking situations, but
I'm sure Ernie Shell can tell you, and that he would also have an excuse in his mind to have those things on his phone.
Facts. And you know what? He also admitted to
That
last
makes
night.
so much sense.
He admitted to last night being in a situation where he was solicited to move a child from one spot to another. And he says that all of a sudden, this situation is the time where he decides to start exercising restraint. So I don't believe that I believe that he probably did transport this child in some sort of protective.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely. I mean, you don't put yourself there and then at the very last minute take it away. Like, that's what you do when you are confronted with someone that's nailing you down on a question. Like, you know, last night was one of the best trolls ever, right? And I thought that it was going to last longer because I feel like there's a lot more. I feel like even though he's 5'8", he's very deep, right? So
yeah.
Hold on, I broke character. I'm so sorry. So go ahead. Go ahead and take
Benny. Height doesn't matter when you're armed with Cracker Jack box certificates and make a look-alike real gun, because big man can't carry a real one, guys. He's not going to protect your children. He's not going to protect any of our children because he isn't allowed to have a gun.
Facts. What is he protecting with no gun? It is not a high valued asset, right? I mean, and secondly, like if
he's got pepper spray, right?
Right? Yeah. If I caught somebody with his record trying to help my kid, boy, I'd take a long run at that motherfucker. Let me tell you what.
I'm just going to say, if some of you guys that are in the comments, because I can't see the comments, of course, I see some things coming in and I don't know, maybe those are mods, I'm not sure. But you can go online. You can research a lot of stuff. Some of this stuff you can't just find online. You got to dig a little deeper. He has a long history with law enforcement. Go to Horror Mask News and see for yourself the years and years and years of people complaining about Ernie Shell.
Now
Also-
say it ain't so, right? I mean, is it really that bad with him?
That he has a history of scamming people and being dishonest.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a huge history of being dishonest and scamming people, and it goes deeper than that. And again, going back to Shelby Shell, there was a mistrial. Look into that. And I'm not saying that Shelby's a good guy. I think he's a troubled man. You know, he's got domestic violence charges. He's a felon.
Do you think he may be better than Ernie though?
He was a felon before.
Is there a possibility they have the wrong man in prison?
I think that they've got the wrong man.
I
think they've got the wrong man. You know,
there you go.
Go back to your video.
Speculation, though, allegedly, and all that crap.
Speculation. We're calling speculation.
In my opinion, they've got the wrong man.
There you go.
Does Shelby Shell probably belong behind bars? Probably. I think these are deeply disturbed boys. I think there's truth in the lies that this man is telling. One of the things he said the other day was that he needed to get some things off his chest after he did he put a video out that he was able to get some things off his chest. I think that's a true statement. I think that when he says in a video that he's taken down, I believe, it might still be up, I'm not sure. He says that that he comes from a family of killers, that he watched his father drag a man behind a shed, and he said he was going to prepare him to meet God or something along the lines. He said he never saw that man again. I think that these are disturbed boys. Yeah, they've got a lot of there's a lot of their family. There's a lot of the brothers.
Holy
there's a lot.
shit.
This
just kind of took a turn. Jane Doe number 2.
Yeah. Also, I want to talk about another thing. Let's go back to about when people are, and not everybody has the same mindset. I've seen
absolutely. It's called neurodiversity.
So yeah, so the thing is that it bothers me to no end when I hear people talking about ridiculous speculation. Is it possible that Dawn or Candace could have done something? Is it possible the neighbor did something? Is it possible the mailman did something? There's possibilities.
Any speculation good.
But is it probable? And that's when you start deducing. And that's when you start looking at facts and saying what makes sense in this situation. So remember when and I'm just going to say in general, for somebody who says that they're a predator hunter, remember that Chris McDonough said, was it probable that a stranger would lie in wait and watch somebody? And interestingly, and I'm not saying there's a connection between Ernie Shell and Summer Wells. I'm saying that there's a connection to similarities of things going on in
facts,
facts.
It takes someone with the characteristics, the behavioral key points, the atypical behavioral flaws. It takes a lot of the same flaws that we have now identified in Mr. Shell. Our real abductor may potentially have those same atypical type flaws.
Before he deletes it, if anybody wants to see it, I've got screenshots as well. I have more than screenshots. I'm not just screenshots. I've got a lot of information. If anybody wants to see it, he is disguised as an old man, looks nothing like himself. He said he lied and waited for 9 hours to catch.
Can you send that? Hey,
I need to ask Don how long he knows.
Text that to me now.
Was trying to set up the interview with him, because there's a tie there. But how long did they know each other? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I would like to know. And share. I know a lot of people are saying that you're acting as a lawyer for this family. Please,
not true.
Everybody advocate for this man not being anywhere near anybody's children, especially the Wells family.
I
he even have children
I'm more
of his own?
protective. That's all, because I did think the other way. I thought he was mad guilty, but
pardon me.
And
I don't
that's
know.
okay, because I've come to
I feel like I gotta protect them.
I come to conclusions myself. And I'm going to say that have been up at night a lot. I can't sleep. My brain won't stop. I don't, am I sitting at home thinking I'm going to solve this and I'm better than the FBI and the TBI and in the Hawkins Sheriff's Department? No way. Not at all. But do I want to help this little girl? It's any little bit of anything inside me that I have or that I know. Guys, I have sat back from the beginning and I have information that's pertinent to the investigation. I have so much that I have been going through. And
Facts.
when I saw these people come out, I never had a reaction like that in my life.
You felt like you might be looking at the suspects?
Crying. I broke down crying and
Oh,
I thought, there's something more to this. There's something going on with this and somebody needs to do something. So again, we're not speculating. We're not saying that this man, we're trying to expose him for who he is. And another thing, he's telling people, he doesn't mention the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation until after he's called out by people online for it. He says, send your tips to me.
Yeah.
Send them to my people. Don't
Ernie,
send them
we
to
don't
the
fucking
TBI.
do that. We don't send tips to jackasses. I don't handle tips.
Yeah.
Sharing them don't handle tips. And you sure the fuck aren't qualified to even handle
No,
raw
and if
ain't,
anybody
sir.
has them, send them. 1-800-TBI find.
Don't fucking send them to him. I'll tell you where to send the motherfuckers, all right?
Absolutely not. So there's another thing that I want to mention. So there's a video of him online where he's talking about catching a predator and he says, hold on, I want to disguise my voice. And that isn't his voice. He actually sounds like Don B, his real voice. And I'm not saying there's any connection. He actually has more of that, like, kind of like I haven't quite hit puberty yet. I'm like, I've got a deeper voice, but then I'm a little higher. And so he's got that, up and down in his voice. He's not, that's not his voice. So I do want to mention that he has a charge out of Georgia. I'm looking for the information on that, where he repeatedly made calls to the police department and was arrested because he made, and Benny, I'm going to ask you to be careful with this. He made calls to the police department and he hung up the phone. He was making false reports to the police department.
That's
not true. Again, that he's not an honest man. Again, these are facts. I don't know what everybody's saying now because I can't see what they're saying, but I just want to say
that makes me feel. I feel like thinking like, okay. It makes me feel like he was doing that to see the response time of law enforcement.
Exactly. How he could get in and out and see what it was going to look like.
How long it, I don't know.
This was not in this state. It was not in Tennessee. It was in Georgia, but who knows what was going on there. So we know a man who can disguise himself. We know a man who can change his voice. We know a man that's dishonest. He does not tell the truth. He has the
welcome.
He has the history, a long history from years and years back of ripping people off. He put his brother in jail and then called himself the killer inside. So I think that's telling. We don't need to tell you guys these things. He's telling you if you'd listen. And
absolutely.
And I'm not done yet. This is just what I've been able to get so far.
Hold on one second, Jane Doe. We've got Just Me in the house. Just Me, how you doing?
Yay.
Hey guys. Hey, listen, this is a hard act to follow right here with Jane Doe. I got to tell you, she is blowing my mind.
Facts.
Now, without saying your name, buddy, what you do for work?
I have been in the bail bond industry for
the real bail bonds industry.
Yeah,
bail bonds industry over 20 years.
Nice.
I'm not going to tell you how many years because I don't want to date myself, but and
you're fine like wine.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. But yeah, Mr. Shell, he's been around the block a time or two. and he fell off the radar for a few years. Back in 2019, there was a huge commotion with live streams and this and that and psychotic breakdowns in the middle of the interstate with law enforcement. And then, he went off the radar. And I was going through the Summer Wells group last week, I think, and all of a sudden there was a video of him, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is horrible. This is not
not a good shit, right?
This was bad shit." First of all, the bail industry polices their own. We take care of our own people. If you're trash, you're out. We don't use you. We'll blacklist you.
Does he have a bad name in that industry? Or does he even have a name in that industry?
He has a very small name, and what little bit of a name he has is just, we just don't deal with him.
Okay.
He wants to make a name.
Yeah. I've been a bounty hunter for 18 years. I call bullshit. I've been around way over 20.
Facts.
But it just, I don't know. He frightens me that he's inserted himself into this investigation.
Do you have an opinion about that insertion? Like what does it mean to you potentially? If you don't want to render opinion, I completely get it. And I won't pressure you for it, but I do want to offer you the forum to get your shit off. Just me. So,
here's my train of thought on this. And I've thought about it a lot just because it worries me. And I'm not law enforcement by any means. I'm a bail bond agent. We hunt skips. You don't go to court, we're going to bring you back.
But you work for the police. You don't take them to your jail. You take them to their jail, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. And before that, just to give you a little information, before that, I was a child protective services investigator for 12 years.
Bam. Let me ask you a question. If someone had children, just me, and they were behaving the way he's behaving online and then putting other people's information online that have children, would that be an issue for CPS? Like, would you have an issue to worry about that gentleman with children?
Yeah, I would definitely be worried.
Okay.
But I'm going to be honest. I've been out of the CPS industry for a long time, but I'm going to tell you something, and it's not what it used to be.
But we're still not letting losers around our kids. That hasn't changed.
Well, hopefully we're not. It depends on what state you're in and what your CPS service is like. What I see in Tennessee concerns me.
Me too.
CPS certainly has failed some families in Tennessee, and not just the Summer Wells deal. But as an investigator, what I see is that people tend to insert themselves back into an investigation. And when I say people, I mean criminals.
Kind of like the hero syndrome, right? Just me. Look on the screen.
Yeah, it's a narcissistic trait.
Yeah, he in fact, someone could create a desperate situation where they in turn can come around the back end and help fix it, right? And
then they're the winner. They're the hero.
That's right.
Well, he texted me today that he really knows that she's alive still. So.
Yeah.
Oh, how does he know that?
I don't know, but I think that's a great thought.
Can we talk about some of that after the different things that he said about her? He said nobody knows this, but he put that out there online that supposedly she was seen alive. He put a screenshot out that he had taken a picture of a license plate. Now, you tell me if this man that he claims was carrying Summer Wells has studied Summer Wells. He's gonna let that person walk away. He's not gonna call the cops right there and say, I found Summer. She's here. Come get her. Bring her home.
Facts. You know what? That would be the perfect shit for him to be posting about.
I'm really biting my tongue here. So, yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. I'm just there's a lot. There's a lot.
Well, you've got people that they're clout chasers. They're looking for attention. They're narcissists. And, you and I were talking earlier today, Sharon, and, I've got, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of people that follow me on TikTok. Who gives a shit? I mean, what does that mean?
No, but they actually don't. He's just showing something that he had before. He no longer has that because he couldn't follow the terms of service.
Right. Well, of course not, because he's unstable. But
and he was posting other people's children on there. That's what the deal was. You can't be posting.
There you go. There you go. But
Yeah.
whether he has it or he doesn't have it, the simple fact that he has to say, well, I've got 167,000 or 250,000 followers. Who gives a shit? I don't care. I don't care how many followers he's got. And if he's listening, he knows who I am. He knows exactly who I am.
I was thinking that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so fuck you, Ernie.
Yeah, listen, I give a shit. I give a shit.
Give a shit.
But, you know, all of this drama and this continuous confusion, all of this is not going to find this child.
Facts.
He needs to sit down and shut up.
Can I take a moment to actually and share? He's posted this all over online, so it's not as if I'm disregarding Cher's privacy. But so the main thing, let's and I want to hear more from Jane Doe too, and just me in here just a second. But what Ernie's real issue is that it's a monetary issue. Okay, he by clandestine means thought that he had been offered or guaranteed a interview with Mr. Wells. So he alleges that he got a great big media group together, and they came down to film the interview at Mr. Wells' house. So what Mr. Shell is upset about is the monies that he claims he's out for moving the production team north, or rather south to Rogersville, and then back up north where they came from, doing the other 4 or 5 or 6 predator entrapments that they had going up there. So what do you think? I don't know if you saw it last night, just me, but I asked him, I said, how many years have you handed out doing this work that you do? And he couldn't say.
And his response was, well, really not any.
None.
Because he just started.
Not any. Let me tell you what he's actually done. And I learned this the hard way too, is that if you're not physically threatening these gentlemen when you meet up with them, what you're doing is you're actually educating them. Now they're hipper to how to scope and spot out people that are acting like kids, trying to solicit someone to solicit them. All Mr. Shell has done with his works has made these perps more aware of how to beat the system. He hasn't distracted anyone with any of the activities that I've seen. What he has done is he has actually made little girls more susceptible to attacks online, because the people that he targets in a particular area now are familiar with his tactic.
Listen, here's what I want to say. First of all, my mind's running 90-0, but his interviewing Don Wells is that can't happen. He's not a criminal investigator. He can't interview Don Wells. Hopefully,
I'm not one.
Well, but you and I've worked together on some cases, so we know what you and I do. But thankfully, we live in the good old USA, where we are innocent until proven guilty. I don't know who did what. At this point, I don't have a damn clue. What I do know is that we need to find this child. That's all I know. We don't need Ernie Shell trying to come down and do an interview. We don't need Ernie Shell trying to do a ground search, because I need to know.
That's what I was going to say.
Has on evidence collection. Has he been trained to collect evidence?
All the fucking certificates, and I don't see one for evidence collection.
Their Facebook, and you'll see this man has no evidence in it. He's sloppy. He's sloppy in what he's doing. And I don't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to say, think about it yesterday on your interview, Benny, when he said that the timeline has to match up. He thought she was dead in that picture, but he says he's got a credible sources seen her alive. The day before that, he says she was in a
he's
hospital
all over the place.
Louisiana. After that, she was at the bottom. Before that, she was in the bottom of a river. I don't know if he's deleting them, but he's posted it. People are calling him out on it. But
he is. And let me tell you what he told me last night out of his own lying ass mouth. that he didn't know much about this case at all.
Oh, that, yeah. Yeah. I wanted, yeah. Yeah. Well, one of
So
the things I just want to say before I forget is that, he, yeah, he just, he said the timeline has got to match up. He's so interested in this timeline, and it's got to match up to his story that Don is guilty. And he wanted that picture to see the timestamp on it. Well, that's none of his business. That's not for him to know and people to run with speculation on that. So I found that disturbing that he wanted that. Also, the girl that comes up to the car, he knows damn well she's there because he looks over several times, shoos her away with his hand, and then makes a motion of starting the car. Watch the video again. Yeah, and watch when he grits his teeth. Watch when he what he does with his fists, and watch what he does when he says we want to bring Summer home alive.
yeah, he is kind of all over the place. Thank you, Sharon Mark, for having had stopped by. They snuck out of the building. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to maybe just suspend the proceedings for tonight, and I'll ask for a continuance. And tomorrow, I'd like to go a little deeper into depth with something else that I kind of have going on. But I would ask that you two ladies would join us again. Would that be acceptable?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. That's
Okay.
what I was, not to echo. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's what I thought of at first too. Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah, I think that if just me, Jane Doe, and I also have another special guest that would love to weigh in on this topic. I won't tell you who they are tonight. It'll just be a surprise for tomorrow. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Well, for Mr. Cher and Mrs. Cher, just me, Jane Doe, number dos, and Benny Keys. Remember, guys, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Remember, not everyone is going to do right by you. Not everyone is for you. There are people out there, Google it, YouTube it. We have a systemic issue with law enforcement, let alone those that impersonate them, guys. We have a real issue with the exploitation of children online. Now, before we go, I do want to show you guys all of this because I am really, I'm stoked about it. And I feel like we have a new, we have some new faces in the house that probably don't know that we've created a petition in Summerwell's name. Now, this petition, what this petition entails is we're to stop the exploitation of crimes against children. And so there's a lot of opponents to this out here, and the ones that are opponents to it, they are content creators that, you know, drive new Range Rovers or pay house notes because of their work.
Benny, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't hear you.
Nope, I can't hear him either.
Did we lose him?
I am here. I am back.
Yay. Can I say something, Benny?
Please, please, and then we're gonna close out. Thank you, Just Me, for coming by. Please, Jane Doe, you have the floor on the way out.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to say, everybody, please keep Summer Wells in your prayers tonight. Keep her on your heart. And before you type something about the family, a lot of things, speculation has, you know, about them beating their kids. That's not been proven. I don't have a lot of information personally about Don, but I'm just, in my personal opinion, I'm just saying, just, you know, there's so much more to this. Please don't keep spreading hate about the family and speculation online, because it's not going to bring her home. I couldn't imagine what they're going through. And, you know, people that say that they don't show emotion, watch those videos again, because they do. Please
Absolutely, guys.
keep the family, whether you think that they're guilty or not, please don't spread these rumors. It's not going to bring her home.
And remember, guys, it's a lot easier to spread love than hate. Just like it takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown, guys.
Absolutely.
And remember always that the behavior that we exhibit to others, that everyone can see, God can see it too, right? So with that, I'm going to close. We will see everyone tomorrow around 8 o'clock or so. I will put a schedule out. So again, guys, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. I do want to thank all our guests for coming by, and let's just keep an eye on this situation. We know who our key players are that we can see, right? We have a cast of woodwork players that do consist of a wide range of characters, right? And we've got JD. Now we've got this scenario. So we have a list that we ourselves can privately start honing our skills, right? Are we here just to be entertained, or are we here to hone our skills and become, helpful in a sense, instead of just being in the way, right? So guys, we will continue on with the profile tomorrow of Predator Nation. Until then, in between times, be good to yourself and be good to somebody else. Thanks, guys. Love you.